Aluminium case, Bluetooth and wireless connectivity, and 8000 Hz polling rate even in wireless mode, all for under $90? That sounds almost too good to be true, right? Well, maybe. Today we're taking a closer look at the Monsgeek Fun60 Ultra, a 60% analog keyboard with rapid trigger that claims to have everything you need. Let's find out if it delivers. Before diving in, I want to thank Monsgeek for sending this review unit and allowing me full freedom to share my honest opinions. Now let's go ahead and talk about what you get right out of the box. I'm using the Ultra version of the Fun60, which has an aluminum case. This material choice makes the keyboard feel significantly more premium than the standard plastic model. At a price point of $89.99, it's impressive how sturdy it feels and how well put together it is. If you're a bit more tight on the budget, there's also a $30 option available, but I wasn't able to test this one, so can't say how well it performs. The keyboard comes with a key switch puller, a keycap puller, and a USB-C cable for both wired connection and charging. There's also wireless functionality with built-in Bluetooth, making it incredibly convenient if you want to switch between different devices for both work and play. A major selling point here is the claimed 8000 Hz polling rate in both wired and wireless mode, a feature I'll be testing later. The white colorway with shine-through PBT keycaps looks crisp and bright. The legends are easy to read even during late-night gaming sessions, and since the keycaps follow a standard cherry profile, it'll be a breeze to swap in any aftermarket set you prefer. At this point, I think it's a good idea to do a quick sound test to see how it holds up acoustically. The Fun60 Ultra uses Akko glare magnetic switches. These switches have an initial force of 25 grams and a bottom-out force of 48 grams. They feature an initial magnetic flux of 95 plus minus 15 Gauss and bottom-out magnetic flux of 589 plus minus 50 Gauss, with built-in LED diffusers to enhance lighting effects. One standout feature is that the keyboard allows you to mix magnetic switches and classic mechanical switches in any configuration you like. This means you could place magnetic switches on movement keys like WSAD for gaming and swap in mechanical switches for everything else. Thanks to hot swap support, it's easy to do switch changes without any soldering involved. To test the keyboard's actuation accuracy, I set the actuation distance to 1 mm and the rapid trigger sensitivity to 0.1 mm. Using a micrometer to carefully measure the switch stem movement, I found that the actuation point remains close to 1 mm within a minor margin of error, while the rapid trigger sensitivity also felt accurate during real-world use. There were no unexpected issues at the point of activation. Although the actuation can technically be set as low as 0.01 mm, that level of sensitivity might lead to accidental key presses. Personally, I found that sticking to 1 mm actuation and 0.3 mm rapid trigger gave me a great balance of stability and performance. Now for the tricky part, performance. I conducted my usual testing procedure, which involves using a Sony RX100 camera running at 1000 frames per second, aimed at an MSI 240Hz OLED monitor displaying Overwatch 2. I bound the control key to the unscope animation and then measured the time from key release to the on-screen effect. In wired mode, my average delay across 10 runs was around 29 milliseconds. This figure is slightly higher than the standard 24 milliseconds I've seen in other rapid trigger keyboards. Surprisingly, going wireless only pushed it to about 31.6 milliseconds, which is not a significant jump and could be credited to the 8000 Hz polling rate. Although it's not quite as fast as certain top-tier keyboards from brands like Wooting or Newfie, it's still more than sufficient for gaming. In my own Marvel Rivals sessions, I found no noticeable lag or sluggishness that impacted my gameplay. The Fun60 does indeed hit 8000 Hz polling rate both when wired and wireless, which is confirmed in my data. This is an impressive feat and at least partially explains why switching from wired to wireless mode didn't hurt the performance as much as one might expect. I also tested SnapTap and it worked just as intended. When setting keys like A and D for strafing, the combination of SnapTap and rapid trigger felt very responsive. However, the board only supports SOCD in the default configuration, meaning that the last key input takes priority. Some keyboards allow you to manually choose which key gets priority, but that's not an option here. Monsgeek offers a web-based application for customizing the board, and it handled all the essential features I needed, including rapid trigger adjustments, activation levels, SnapTap settings, lighting effects, key reassignments, and macro recording. The software also lets you enable dynamic keystrokes and SOCD. Although everything worked fairly smoothly, I did notice that I couldn't figure out how to switch layers without reopening the web app. If anyone has a workaround, I'd love to hear it in the comments. There's also a desktop app from Monsgeek, but I ran into a strange bug that prevented me from fully exploring its submenus. As a result, I couldn't confirm whether the desktop version allows you to adjust the polling rate, which is locked to 8000 Hz in the web app. That said, 8000 Hz seems to be the default, and I had no way to lower it within the web-based software. So is the Monsgeek Fun60 Ultra the ultimate rapid trigger keyboard? For many users, absolutely. It's built with a high-quality aluminum case, produces a decent sound, offers wired and wireless connectivity with Bluetooth capabilities, and demonstrates solid stability and accuracy in day-to-day use. At around $90, the value proposition is outstanding when you consider the extensive feature set. The only drawback is that it doesn't quite match the raw speed of some of its more expensive competitors. However, if you're not solely fixated on having the absolute fastest keyboard out there, this is a great option that strikes a near perfect balance between performance, feature, and cost. Thanks for sticking around until the end. If you found this review helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel for more insights on keyboards and gaming gear. I'm Laser, and I'll see you in the next one.